Hello everybody and welcome back to Tales of Iron. We're going to finish this today. We're in the final part. We need to go and go back to the crypts because we're looking for the next bard. I believe this is the last of these.
The bards explained that Johnny Nasher had gone into the crypts to buy tobacco from
Right,
Bertle
Johnny
Paterno.
Nasher.
There'd been no sign or sight of either of them since.
My hands smell weird. It's probably because I was pulling out a. Oh, that's right. I was hanging that flag up in my garage. That's probably why. It's like I was pulling out bins for Christmas stuff. Alright. So we're going all the way over to here where the turtle is. Well, I hope that if you've watched this, you've enjoyed this playthrough. Again, I really loved this game, and I'm very excited for the second game to come out. When that got announced, I was like, holy shit, they're making a sequel. And I didn't think they were going to. But it's like...
The bard's pipe and tobacco pouch. Johnny would never have left them on purpose.
I feel like games like this, especially when they have like an accessibility in which like even though they're designed to be like really hard, people that like to play on easier difficulties like myself can play them and actually enjoy them, because I actually really enjoy this game. You know, it does have some difficulty to it, even on the easier, like on the easy difficulty, but it's nothing that's like so ridiculous that it, you know, it's not Dark Souls level in the sense that like it just feels unfun. Alright. Come on, just... Fine, I'll just... hit you like that. Here we go. Not gonna hit me? I'll hit you. But, yeah, I mean... I love when games that are designed to be hard have this, you know, the developers go, you know what? How about we make it so that people who like to play on like easier difficulties can play, and I can really appreciate that. That's why I've recommended this game to a lot of people, even people who, you know, really only play games on easy. You know, you'd be surprised that outside of the playthroughs, I play a lot of games on like normal. I don't really play a lot of games on hard anymore, because, you know, again, I play a lot of games and I would prefer to play on like a normal or an easier difficulty. I mostly play, you know, games on the channel on the easy difficulty because I want to be able to like, you know, enjoy the experience rather than be overly frustrated and just dying all the time. This guy's starting to get on my fucking nerves. Oh, dude, come on. Another one? Really? This is like one of the few complaints I have about the game is like enemies coming in
the last of the undead
to the screen. A lot of these enemies are slow.
Rat was under attack. Reggie and Bertle rushed to his homestead.
Yeah, well, Bertle was fucking late, so... But you have to also understand that when I first played this game, I did actually struggle a lot. Oh, shit! Crocus Khan! There he is!
This would be his last.
Oh, I don't have any poison. Fucking Bertle's doing fucking absolutely nothing. He's completely and utterly useless. Waiting for this guy to do his, like, fucking move or whatever. Alright, I'm out of ammo. There it is. I was waiting for that so that I could actually do the reversal.
1 in 8 frogs can trace their lineage to the great Crocus. But this old toad would sire no more. With Crocus defeated, Johnny and Bertle thanked Reggie for his help. Reggie hoped in the future they would find safer and less pungent places to trade.
I'll wear that too. Why not? Go ahead and save. Now that we're actually going to be finished with this, I got to figure out what we're going to be playing with Assassin's Creed. We're still playing Brotherhood. I haven't really thought about what's going to be coming after this. I mean, I have plenty of games on the list. But I don't know if there's, like, any that I'm, like, really wanting to play currently. Obviously, like, Assassin's Creed Revelations, I'm thinking about that as well, because I kind of want to get that bitch out of the way. And it'd be kind of nice to get Brotherhood finished in December, and then start Revelations, and then finish Revelations by the end of January. But, I don't know. I have to see. Again, it just depends on how much I'm, like, really willing to be done with Brotherhood by the time we get, you know, through the game. But I mean, I don't mind doing a lot of the stuff on from, you know, like, outside of the playthrough, a lot of the grinding stuff. I just let the game sit. Doesn't bother me none. All right, back here. Back up top. Now the band is back together, they need a place to perform their new songs about their adventure. Rex would like to build a pub in the Crimson Keep cellar. It's if a kind king would provide the materials. Yeah, we have to get the materials for this.
The bards in the cellar. He had a grand vision for the Crimson Keep's dark storeroom.
See all those guys there. I don't think, if I remember correctly, there's not a I don't think there's mannequins for the new armor. Let me check. See, that's where the plaques went. No. Which kind of sucks, because it'd be kind of nice if these were all in there. Oh yeah, I was supposed to go downstairs.
Rex's plan was to convert the dank cellar into a bustling pub.
Nails, hammer,
some rat could gather
mugs.
materials. Reggie was happy to find what they needed. If for no other reason, then it may stop so many bards disappearing into the crypts.
Alright, so yeah, now we gotta find the materials for the pub. We need a hammer, nails, we need a mug of ale. Or a mug with whatever the rats drink. I mean, there's bug juice, but I don't know. Hammer. Nails. 5 coins, please. Pub construction materials. Sandy Kid has all the materials needed. Oh, okay.
The trader was relieved to hear the bards had a trade to fall back on for when this musician fantasy inevitably failed. So he offered a good price.
Well, he's gonna be surprised because that, as you're gonna see, it's about to be a fucking hit. Can you imagine being able to like come into the castle and go to the exclusive pub in the cellar of the king's castle and hang out with the king in his own personal pub? That'd be fire. Oh, I have a mustache? Oh yeah, I have like the little Genghis kind of beard on the side. It's on the helmet though.
Having the necessary materials, Reggie handed them over to Rex and the bards. Reggie wondered if they had even a basic understanding of construction.
Yeah, see, look at this.
Spending many a night in
I remember my first beer.
basking in the music, sipping red berry wine.
That's cute. I remember my first beer.
Folk with tales of his battles, whether they wanted to be regaled or not.
You know what that's a reference to? Leave a comment. I'll give you a hint. It's a Will Ferrell movie. Hold on a second. Okay. There's a text for one of my appointments. I have a CT scan on Tuesday. Alright, so now that we've done that, let's go do the Bright Fur stuff.
The Crimson Keep was playing host to the traveling squirrel folk on their annual pilgrimage to the Bright Fur. They honored the young king with an invite to their Leaf's Fall Festival, the first outsider to be asked to this mysterious gathering in generations. Reggie was pleased to take some time away from battle to experience the wonder of the Great Golden Woods.
So there you go. We're headed to the Bright Fir Forest. Alright, here we are. Doesn't look very bright. Well, it will. Alright, we're full on that. Let's get our poison up. So this is like a whole, section as well. It has its own, map.
Reggie was greeted by the squirrel guide Zazu at the forest edge. She'd been sent to show the king the way to the festival. A secret path known only by squirrel folk.
Alright, so we're getting some new weapons as well. Nothing that I'm going to use, but... Oh, actually, well... Got a little hat, a little crown.
The forest was not at all what the young king expected. He'd heard the Bright Fir's golden leaves bathed the entire forest in light. There'd been no mention of these giant mushrooms that made the air heavy with spores.
So yeah, when I played the Xbox version, I played this as well. I never played it on here on the PlayStation because at the time this wasn't out on the PlayStation, so that's why I'm getting
The
the...
bright fur's golden light fell on the forest clearing and caravans like an enchantment. The mood, though, was not festive, but worried.
I mean, everybody's seemingly having some fun, though.
Zazu, embarrassed, explained the reason they asked the brave young king here was to plead for his help. The Squirrel Elder and a priest of the Bright Fur journeyed to the abandoned Glimmer Mines to harvest bright moss, and had not returned.
Alright.
With the golden light of the camp behind him, Reggie headed back out into the gloom in search of the mines.
It's going to be interesting for the second game. I wonder what the environment's going to look like, because I know it's very much like a winter setting, very much like a bunch of ice and
Signs
snow
were
and
not
stuff.
promising. Outside the Glimmer Mines were vicious beetles. What had driven them from their cave home? The squirrel folk were in more danger than they knew.
Alright, so this leads down to here. There's this in here, but I think if I remember, yeah, there's a locked door we need a key for. Okay, we got a little room over here. With a new bow. And a shield.
The Squirrel Elder's walking cane lying abandoned. If he didn't have it, Reggie wondered, how did he carry himself from this place?
Oh. Alright, got him. Cleared all that shit out.
The rocks of the Glimmer Mines glowed with a blue light unlike anything Reggie had ever seen. Reggie wondered what the moles would make of this.
Oh, the Beetle Queen!
The Squirrel Elder's lifeless body lay on the floor, the priest at his side. Before Reggie could approach, he found out why they were trapped. This was the
Die, piece of shit.
Beetle Queen in her glimmering grave. Reggie approached the still body of the Squirrel Elder.
Yeah, that guy's an elder, alright.
With a yelp, then entranced from the ritual smoking of extra potent bright moss. Unaware, he almost became the Beetle Queen's snack. Thanking Reggie for the rescue, they headed back to begin the festival.
Beetle Queen, like armor set. I'll equip that. Looks pretty cool. Alright, so now we're headed back to the tree.
This market stall sells all sorts.
So now we have this.
Goods. A few coins spent here would spruce up the Crimson Keep nicely.
So yeah, now there's some things we can buy for the Crimson Keep. A small library outside the kitchen for the residents to enjoy. We have bright banners that hang in the smithy stairwell. We have a repaired King Radis portrait. This regal painting of King Radis was destroyed in the frog attack. Lovingly repaired, it now hangs outside the king's chamber. A set of 3 statues carved in stone immortalize Reggie's victories in battle. New paintings around the castle depicting Reggie's many victories. Shrines to honor the brave soldiers who fell in the war against the frogs. And bug houses hung from the tree in the center of the Crimson Keep. So, I'll show you those when we leave here.
With the Squirrel Elder back at the Bright Fir, with a tankard of bright sap in his paw, the festival of Leaf's Fall could finally begin. No sooner had the Elder raised the cup into the air to begin his opening speech, came the clattering of wood and smashing of glass. To everyone's horror, a drunken squirrel had knocked over the table with the bright sap. The festival of Leaf's Fall could not continue without the rare and sacred drink.
So we got the Forest Underground key.
Reggie, asking if the brave young king would again save their festival and venture into the shrine of the tapped root to collect more bright sap.
Alright, so, yeah, now we can go down... Oh, actually, let me go ahead and get my ammo. And then we'll go down here, unlock this door.
In the maze of bright fir roots, the spores were so thick Reggie had to wear his gas
Oh no!
mask.
The worms!
Was this infestation the reason the bright firs were dying?
Ow. It's pretty toxic down here. Don't breathe in these spores. You might become a clicker. All right, we got another treasure chest. Some bug part weapons. Alright, so this takes us down to where we need to go. Shrine of the Tapped Root.
The Shrine of the Tapped Root stood before him.
An enraged root worm!
Before Reggie could wonder what had done this, he got his answer. A root worm, bloated and enraged by bright sap.
Ow. Just shoot him.
Rootworms had been banished from these parts for generations. Reggie had a feeling its presence meant something was rotten in the state of Bright Fir. To Reggie's dismay, the tap was broken. Reggie did not look forward to returning to the Squirrel Elder with no sacred sap and news of rootworms.
Well, what am I supposed to do? You know? I just came down here to kill the damn thing. Again, I'm like the king of the realm. I don't need to do all this, but I do it because I'm a good person. Go ahead and fill that up. Fill that up as well.
Though shocked at the news, the Squirrel Elder had an idea. The tap was one of several made in the basement woodsmith workshop of Castle Dray. Perhaps Reggie could look there.
Alright. Some like more golden type parts. Oh, that's a better shield. Alright, that's also better. And so is that. See, again, you do get gear that's like, it's better. It's like, it's kind of like the same level or better, but it weighs a lot less. So
Approaching the ruins of Castle Dre, Reggie's whiskers twitched at the familiar stench on the breeze. He refused to believe it. After all he'd done to be rid of them, it could not be. The frog scourge had returned, a pestilence on the sacred forest that could not be allowed to spread.
we got rid of you fucks. Stay dead. Leave this kingdom alone. So there we go. We're maxed out on both iron and bug
slapping
parts.
of webbed feet from the basement. More pond filth waited below, and would soon feel his blade.
Pond filth.
The frog squatter was none other than General Hackett, no better than a common thief looting supplies. The only thing he'd taken today was his last breath.
Yeah, General Hack ain't shit. He's a hack is what he is. Take the tap here, the root tap. Spare root tap to replace one broken by the root.
With the satisfaction of the frog general dead at his paws, Reggie found the replacement
that's right, I forgot
tap.
about that.
The squirrels would have their sacred sap.
So there's a replacement wagon with this. There's also like a side quest thing here as well. Alright, yeah, we'll up that. Up the defense. I'll store that. I keep forgetting there's a like a side quest somewhere.
Reggie was surprised to find a mole in Bright Fir Forest. The mole was embarrassed. He'd got lost going from Station C-19 to Station 24/7. Reggie sympathized. Those tunnels were a tough route.
Here you go.
Lost he may have been, but still enterprising.
A wrench.
The mole had armor for sale, if the king had the coin. The mole had heard
Pretty cool
of this
looking bow.
king of rats who traveled the underground, but never believed it was true.
Stop sign.
Perhaps Reggie knew the tunnels well enough to give him directions.
Defense against moles. So let's store that. Well, good luck.
The king barely noticed the journey back to the Bright Fir, dwelling as he was on the return of frog spawn to the ratdom. Where there's a general, an army must be close by.
Let's go back this way. I don't know if there's anything back here yet. Ah, yeah, here we
The
go.
pilgrimage to Bright Fir was not an easy wagon ride. This family's wagon wheel broke in the mud. They offered a reward if Reggie could find them a replacement.
Well, I have
With a
one.
new wheel in paw, the wagon would be on its way. Reggie assured them they'd not missed the festival as there'd been a few minor delays.
Another whole gear set. And I'll fill up my poison while I'm here as well. Alright. Back to the Elder.
Reggie handed over the tap, but wished he could spare the old squirrel the pain of hearing frogs were in Castle Dray. The squirrel elder could not allow the festival to continue, knowing pond scum squatted in their ancestral home. Reggie did not need to be asked. He knew what needed to be done. Reggie could not believe the frogs had returned after all he had done to be rid of them.
Alright, there's the key for the
Scum
castle.
never learn.
Alright, we got some more, like, kind of golden weapons. Yep, we'll equip that. Better weight and also better resistance to frogs. Alright. So headed off to go over here. I don't need to fight you. I have nothing to prove.
As Reggie made his way towards the ruins of Castle Dray, the stench of pond scum once again drifted in on the cool breeze. The familiar scent made him wonder why the frogs had suddenly reappeared in the Ratdom. He'd heard tales of the great Castle Dray from his father's whiskers, but it was hard to believe this mushroom-pocked ruin was ever that once proud place. The evil frog spawn had been looting. These frogs believed they could make the central tower a new base, but Reggie would show just how wrong they were.
Get out of my home! Go back to where you came from! Leave these squirrels alone and get out of my kingdom! So am I gonna get some, like, ammo, maybe? Kill that bug. A little bit of bug juice.
The central tower. Whoever was collecting all these supplies would surely be at the top. The young king had thought his lust for revenge was sated, but he would not be satisfied until every frog in his kingdom had croaked their last.
He wants an extermination of the frogs. Kind of fucked up when you think about it. He's like wanting to commit a full genocide on the frog people. Alright, so we have to go up, but there's also a down here. Forgotten seed bank.
A strange crunch beneath his paws. Reggie looked down to see seeds on the floor. Jars of golden bright first seeds were all around, enough to plant 100 forests. Reggie wondered if the squirrel elder knew they were here.
These nasty beetles. Alright, we have some more, like, goldenish type weapons. Just all these gear sets that kind of add to the litany of gear sets you already have. Oh yeah, I'm already filled on this. Alright. Let's fill that up.
Seems he wasn't the only one here.
Shield Maiden, Yellow Tongue
Shield
Sister
Maiden
of
Yellow
War
Tongue
Chief
was
Greenward.
screaming the name of her fallen brother, Chief Greenward.
Can I fucking heal, please? Keep the poison up. Die, bitch!
The fading echoes of her last croak. Castle Dre was returned to peace. There was a shrine in the room. Carved figures of Reggie and his enemies in Bright Fir Forest. The frogs had planned it all to lure him here.
Okay, it's the same. Hell of a fight, that. Gotta fill up our bug juice. Get my ammo back. Alright, we're out of here.
The squirrels of the Bright Fir rejoiced to hear Castle Dre was back to its somber state of peace once more. The Squirrel Elder could start the Leaf's Fall Festival at last. Reggie
Hooray!
gasped the joy of the squirrel folk, as warming as the golden light of the firs. He reclined in his chair and was honored with a cup of bright sap. Being king has its perks.
So there you go. That's the Bright Fir Forest expansion. It's not very long. But before we end this playthrough, we're gonna go back to the keep and look at all the new stuff. Also, there's all these now. So yeah, I missed something here. But again, like, I'm not really going for that because I'm not going for the to get every piece of armor and everything because I don't need to. I already have that achievement. Heavy shields. They're all bows that they give you. crazy to think that we use Thor's hammer the majority of the game. Again, like, that's kind of a way to kind of, I guess you could say, cheese the game a little bit, is by kind of getting around, if you defeat Ratgar early on, getting the hammer, and then basically have a legendary weapon pretty much right out of the gate that is better than all the weapons you're going to pick up through the majority of the game. So yeah, see, there we go. Some pictures of Reggie. The replaced painting there. Again, it would be nice if they had all of the DLC outfits in here as well. There's the worm's head. There's more pictures of me. That's it for that. And then, of course, going back to the main area. There's the statues. My accomplishments. So yeah. So there you have it. That's Tales of Iron. Again, it's not like the playthrough was too long. It's because I played this twice. I already know what I'm doing. But this game can be quite long for you if, you know, depending on how much you explore. You want to find, like, all of the pieces of armor, of course, to get, like, the trophies and everything. So yeah, I already have that. I literally have it. I don't know why it unlocked, so. So yeah. So I have all but, like, this one, Defeat Green Wart and Bloody Whisker mode. You just basically have to play through the main game and do that, so. Yeah, anyway. So, yeah. That's gonna do it for Tales of Iron. I will see you all in the next playthrough. Of course, we'll be back for Tales of Iron 2 when that's released. So, thank you all for joining me on this, and goodbye.